aka the Wrangler with a toupee.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Ljs Garage. I am sitting in the big bad Jeep Gladiator. This is the 2022 Overland, and honestly, I really like this thing. I'm not gonna lie. The last time that I did a video on the Gladiator, I was one of the people who were like, I don't get it. Jeep, truck, why not just buy a real truck? But honestly, I digress. And I say that this is a real truck and this is a real Jeep. It is more than just a Wrangler with a pickup bed. And today, not only am I going to talk about the Gladiator, but I'm going to show you why this Overland is a cool trim. And yes, there is a Sport right behind me, and this one's equally as cool.
Man, oh man, you guys can't tell me this doesn't look good. I like that blue with the wheels. Ooh.
Some people like the nicer things in life, and thus enters the Overland. So this has a lot of features, and this one is very well equipped. And for right around the $50,000 price point, this is actually a pretty good, well-rounded vehicle. And on top of that, it's a convertible truck. I mean, you can't really beat that, can you? Well, don't tell me the answer to that, because if you're not a Jeep person and a Jeep loyalist, you'll probably say, oh yeah, you can definitely beat that. But in my eyes, I think this is kind of, a little bit of everything for the person who needs a truck. They need a bed, they need an SUV, but they also don't want just an SUV, and they kind of want a little bit of everything, but also they're not wanting to spend money on something that can tow a lot, because maybe they don't tow a lot. But anyways, let's talk about specs. Under the hood is going to be a 3.6 liter V6 that makes 285 horsepower, 260 foot-pounds of torque. If you haven't guessed, this is going to have four-wheel drive. On top of that, you can get this in a manual transmission, which I have done that. Please be sure to check out my video on the Ljs Jeep Gladiator. And I did like the manual, but I was pretty neutral to it. I don't think it's necessary, but for those that love having a manual, I think it's a pretty okay one. Gas mileage, you're looking about a 16 city, 23 highway. Not the worst, not the best. I think it's decent, and if you get the manual, you can squeeze out a little bit more gas mileage. As far as towing goes, you are able to pull 4,000 pounds, and the payload capacity for this is about 1,100 pounds, so this is capable. And in my world, a Tacoma is a truck, this is a truck, tomato, potato, it is what it is. And yeah, let's take a look on the outside, and we'll hop back on the inside, and I'll tell you about what it's like to drive one of these. It's nothing too crazy, but we'll talk about it. Let's go.
All right, and here we are on the outside of the Jeep Gladiator, aka the Wrangler with a toupee. But that's not what everyone calls it, it's just what I call it. But anyways, take a look at this. You're gonna have from this angle, it looks like a Wrangler, and then from this back angle, it's gonna look like a pickup truck. And so business in the front, party in the back, you've got yourself a nice, capable truck. Not too much to dive in on the front end. It looks just like a Wrangler. The Wrangler we've loved for the last 30, 40, 50, 60 years. It's pretty similar, pretty iconic. And Jeep's done a good job of not destroying a design that people seem to love and adore. You're gonna have headlights there, daytime running lights, fog lights, all of them are well equipped and ready to go, because like I said, this is an Overland, so it's damn near the top trim. You'll notice that on the front hood, you're going to have the latches just like typical. That's something that Jeep refuses to get rid of, and I like it. They should keep that forever, even when we go to a full electric Jeep. I don't know what the purpose of that would be, but the design should still be there. But this has nice Bridgestone tires. It's well equipped, looks nice, good tires, good wheels. Nothing more to dive into. Suspension is pretty capable, pretty reasonable. Jeep Gladiator badge. Nice little running boards. Taking a look at everything from the back end, you'll see that this is a truck. And then looking into the bed, this doesn't have any rhino lining, but it's something that you can get if you do want. But otherwise, there's really not much. I'll go ahead and open this up, and you guys can see this thing is ready to work. Some will say that it's not, but I'm gonna say that it is. We'll go ahead and close this up. On the back end side, you're gonna have your backup camera, Jeep badge, Overland badge, rear tow hook, and your tow hitch. So it's ready to go, ready to work, like I said. Let me know what you guys think of the outside. It's nothing new at this point. We've all seen the Gladiator for years now, so all the hype has kind of gone down. We all know what they are.
And before I get any further, special thanks to Jeff Weiler Jeep over here in Springfield, Ohio. If you're in the Columbus, Dayton, Cincinnati area and you're looking for one of these, be sure to stop in and ask for Jordy. He's super knowledgeable about all of this stuff, especially when it comes to Jeep. He likes them. I get it. It's cool. Ignore some of the accessories. I'm going to go ahead and hop in here. The seat set for me, I'm 5'9", and I'll show you guys what kind of room I'm working with.
Because this does sit a little bit high, I do recommend making sure that you get one option with running boards. Ugh. And look at that. Plenty of room. Headroom, I've got plenty because this does have a removable roof. You're going to have headrests, or you're going to have speakers that are built into the frame, and that's pretty nice. And then down here, you're going to have just normal climate vents, nothing too crazy. Bam, bam. And then you can put your windows down from here, and then charging ports down at the bottom along with some cup holders. And if you do need to, these seats do fold, so you can just pull that, and bam. Ignore the stuff in the way, but the seats would normally fold flat. Ta-da, ta-da. And if you're curious, you do get some storage underneath. So you're gonna have keyless entry, so you got a little button there to lock and unlock. And we'll take a look on the inside now. So this is what she looks like. Seats are gonna be manual, but that's okay. We don't mind. And then before I close this door, I wanna show you guys, of course, the doors are removable. All of this is super easy to do. Jeep gives you all the hardware that you need, and you know, pretty sweet to remove the doors on your Gladiator, if you didn't know. On the left-hand side, you're gonna have lighting controls. Here's your traditional Jeep steering wheel, found in a lot of Jeep products. You're gonna have your push start, so I'll go ahead and turn this thing on. You'll see the cool little animation. I love that. Haha, that's cool. Gauges are gonna be analog with a small screen in the middle. Yes, the fuel light's on, ignore that. Stop, start, all of that good stuff. Here you'll be able to see your basic vehicle information. You can even see your tilt angle when you're off-roading, so yeah. And then let's take a look over on this side. You're gonna have a nice touchscreen, which has kind of got a cool little theme on it right now. You can click on climate, and this is dual climate control. You're able to adjust everything from here, but if you don't like that, just tilt your head down a little bit and you can do everything manually with physical buttons. That's one of my favorite things. I like Jeep's Uconnect system. I think it's well done, and I have no complaints, no problems. You can hit controls. This is where you'd find your heated seats for you and your passenger. You can see your backup camera, which look at that. That is crisp, very sharp. You can zoom in and see different angles if you really wanted to, but nothing else to dive in there. Phone, you're gonna have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, bam, bam. Other than that, if you're in this menu for your apps, you do have off-road pages, which you can click this. Give it a second to load up here. This is where you'll be able to see more of your off-road goodies. You can go into accessory gauges, look at that. You can see your pitch and roll. And if you're curious, you can see your altitude. So we're at 920 feet. If you're curious about safety, all of that, you can go into here, safety and driving assistance. And this has hill start assist. Yay! But yes, there's not too much to dive into, and I like it. It's simple, straight to the point. Continuing down a little bit further, you're going to have all your window controls right there, as your doors are removable. You do have 4 auxiliary switches that are ready and equipped for you to program to whatever you want. And if you do go in here, what you can do is if you go over to settings, come down here, auxiliary switches, auxiliary 1, you can actually, control a lot of stuff for those auxiliary switches right there. Down here, you're going to have your shifter, and then you're going to have your 4-wheel drive control lever right there. Cup holder, glove box, and storage. Bam. Getting this roof off is super easy. You just got this latch here, and then these little levers that lock right into place. And you got all 4 panels, they'll come right off. So yeah, with just a little bit of elbow grease, you can pop these panels right off and the doors come off equally as easy. Everyone knows that about Jeep, so nothing more to dive into. So I've driven the Gladiator twice now, and after driving it the second time, I think that it is pretty good on road. I think it's comfortable. I think it rides well for being what it is. And I think that it's got such a cool feel that nothing else can really capture. Yes, you're in a Wrangler and nothing else is really like a Wrangler. I've driven the Bronco, and the Bronco is very nice, but it does not feel like a Wrangler. They're similar vehicles, but the vibe, the atmosphere, the heritage, all of those things, they're different. So when you hop into this, you realize, wow, I'm in a pickup truck, but also it's not a Tacoma. It's nothing else like it's like nothing else that's on the road, and it's super capable. And for the most part, you really don't remember that the bed is back there. Well, you're supposed to remember the bed's back there, but you really don't. It doesn't feel massive. Anyone coming from a full-size truck will hop into this and they'll feel like this is a tiny little thing compared to that.
So I like the way this drives. The handling is decent. Everything is decent. It feels like a more capable Wrangler truck. And that's exactly what it is. Like I said, it's not my cup of tea. I like sports cars and I like to go fast. But after spending some time in this one, it's got my recommendation. I easily do like the Gladiator. And I think that even though it has a little toupee on, I think it's pretty cool looking. And it's just got a little bit of uniqueness. And it's just like anything, you know, you're not going to run into too many other Gladiators, even though they're selling pretty well, but still. With all that being said, thank you guys so much for checking out yet another video in LJ's Garage. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, be sure to check out my other video on the Gladiator that may answer some more questions, but otherwise, just drop a comment below and I'll be sure to get an answer for you. Thank you guys, and see you on the next one.